UFC 284 is this weekend. It's Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski, and I'm very, very excited for this main event. And I feel like the hype isn't there. Is that weird for me to say? I just feel like the hype, and Islam Makhachev said he's not happy with the promotion of the fight. However, I am kind of getting that buzz now. A week to go. It's always a week to go. You see the embeddeds, but Islam's a big name, right? Islam is a big name. Volkanovski within the MMA world is a big name, but neither of them are quite superstars, and Khabib wasn't a superstar either, I don't think. I hear Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier, people like that say, oh, Khabib is a superstar, man. No, I think he's just a large following. Maybe in places like Abu Dhabi, 100%. But if you look at pure pay-per-view, pure numbers, pure embedded stats, interest, intrigue, he wasn't particularly that massive superstar. It reminds me very similar to like George St. Pierre, people like this. And I go against everybody. I always say Israel Adesanya isn't a star. He's not a superstar. The word superstar is someone like McGregor, someone like Elvis, someone like fucking Michael Pedo Jackson. You know what I mean? Somebody like that. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about today. I'm gonna do a little prediction and breakdown of this fight for you now. I have no idea who to go for. And I know Islam is the obvious choice, and Islam's bigger, and he's, I always say Islam is the more athletic version of Khabib, the more, I think he's a better takedown artist. I think he's better at getting to the ground. His pressure's not as much, and he's also better on the back foot than Khabib. However, striking-wise as well, he's slicker, he's tidier with it. I don't feel like this will be much of a wrestling match. I really don't feel like this will be much of a wrestling match. I'm not joking with you. And I know that sounds stupid, and that I could shoot myself in the foot saying that. I just don't feel it's going to be much of a wrestling match at all. I feel like it's going to be maybe the first round it will be. It'll be like Islam up against the cage, Volk trying to defend, and I feel like Islam's better than Khabib at not using the cage, I feel like Islam has more trips, Islam has more shot timing, like for example against someone like Dan Hooker, that was a phenomenal takedown, and someone against Bobby Green, he just did his work, got the job done. But I feel like with Volkanovski, we've seen Mendes, have good success with takedowns. I feel like Islam will win the early rounds, but then I feel like it'll become more of a striking battle. And one thing that is kind of swaying me mentally, right? The whole week, Volkanovski said this fight will be decided on the feet. He was saying that, and then in an interview last week, he was like, I'm coming in here to really hurt this guy. I'm coming in with bad intentions to really hurt this guy. And I think he knows he needs to do that. I think we're far enough into like this Dagestani phase we're in of these wrestlers and stuff, and you just need to put the fear of God into them. And I feel like against Islam, who's been KO'd before, you want to see a few panic shots. Even if he does get Volkanovski to the ground, you want to see a few panic shots. You want to see Volkanovski catch him a few times and be like, all right, I'm going to fucking grab you now. I'm just curious of how well Volkanovski will be able to handle the takedowns and be able to just sit on the bottom and breathe. You know what I mean? And I feel like when you have Ortega with a triangle deep on you and you're not tapping, and you have a guillotine in from Ortega and you're not tapping, that's something. But when it's a Dagestani born, bred, filled with steroids, filled with food of God and Muslim upbringing, it's just different. But I just feel like it's not going to go the distance. I also feel like it'll be a knockout, and I think it could be an Islam Makhachev knockout. He throws at head kicks. Khabib doesn't throw head kicks. Ground and pound would be my thing. An uppercut. Someone lands an uppercut and either one of them goes down. I think it's a toss-up. However, I'm going to give the advantage to Islam. Number 1 versus number 2 in the world. This is what the prediction process should be like, remember. You're not... I see ways Volkanovski can be that little guy and just kind of bully him around a little bit. But I think he is very, very small. Yeah, he's tough, he's stocky, but I feel like there's a way a big man can knock... the big, stocky big man will knock over the little, stocky little man, And I feel like I can just see Islam landing trips and kind of just throwing him over a little bit and just being that big guy. I don't think Islam struggles to make weight as much as Khabib does. However, definitely there's a struggle there, and I feel like Volkanovski can maybe not comfortably, but he definitely can make 145, and he definitely can make 155, which we've seen him do before. Mindset's massive in this. I feel like Islam's going to be going in there quite confident, knowing he's bigger, and like Volkanovski's coming up, just won a belt, has that confidence. But then you've got Volkanovski, who is undoubtedly an animal. Like, he's undoubtedly a guy that I don't really get killer vibes from him, but I have been this week. Like, when someone speaks and you're like, you don't really care about hurting this man. You've seen it a little bit in the second Holloway fight. That arsehole came out a little bit. That dickhead came out a little bit, and I hated him in the moment, but now I'm like, it's good that we know he's got that in him, and I feel like he's got to come into this fight with like, look, mate, I'm going to have to fucking hurt you to win, and I don't care, and I don't regret it, and I feel like that's what we need, especially against Islam Makhachev. Fuck it. I'm going Volkanovski by knockout. Volkanovski by ground and pound. I think Volkanovski is losing, and then has good moments. I think he gets hurt. I think he gets hurt bad. I think we're going to have another Leon Edwards moment. I think ground and pound. I think Islam goes for a shot after being hurt. Volkanovski kind of not like reverses him and topples him over. I feel like it'll just be like a failed shot. Islam will be on his knees. He'll kind of be getting up, and then Volkanovski just boof right on the top of his head, sends him to the side a wee bit. He's still struggling, arms out. Bam, bam. Pushes him off him, and then we see the double champ, the most impressive double champ in UFC history if he gets it done. I think it'll go that way. I feel like Islam will be really winning the fight though. I feel like instantly in the first round, Islam will be winning. And we'll be like, oh fuck, here we go again. I feel like it's Volkanovski's moment. I feel like this is going to be a big moment. I just feel like we haven't had a double champ in so long. We haven't had a massive moment like this in so long. Number 1 versus number 2. I'm picking number 1 every day of the week. And then, yeah, I think Makhachev will take it respectfully. Like, fair play to him if you get knocked out. I don't know why. I can see it. I can see Volkanovski just toppling him over like a deck chair, just like not like a flatline knockout, because I don't think he's strong enough for that, or like has that off switch. I feel like he'll be tricky for Islam to damage though. I feel like that's the big difference, especially with a smaller guy coming up. Like we've seen with these Dagestani fighters, they find it quite easy to impose their will, which I think Islam will do, but I feel like it'll be very tough for him to impose significant strikes, significant damage. You'll obviously, I think Volkanovski will go out there trying to hurt him. I'll take a few rounds off, then I'll catch him. I'm going to say round 2, round 3. Obviously we've seen how good Oliveira's looked. Completely dismantled Oliveira. It's a very different fight for Volkanovski than he's used to though. So obviously I'm putting my prediction out there, Volkanovski to win. I don't think anybody really agrees with that. I can just foresee it. If I'm wrong, that's completely fine. And before any of you comment being like, oh, you're just a casual, you're going for the guy who's got the most title defenses. No, I'm on the fence. I have no idea. I'm just kind of, I want Alexander Volkanovski to win, and that's what's swaying me, essentially, because this is not a difficult fight to predict. The genuine prediction would be like, Volkanovski gets manhandled, has a few good moments, etc. However, I'm going Alexander Volkanovski by TKO. 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, maybe like the 13-minute mark, 9 minute mark, maybe 12 minutes in, something like that. Round 3, 12 minutes in or so. And if I'm correct about this, which I just have a feeling, I just can see it. I can just see how the sequence would play out, and I could see how Islam would be coming in close to maybe grab him, and then he just goes bump, and then like Islam falls front ways, is still with it, but then he gets him on the temple, and then the fight changes from there. I'm excited for it. I'm very excited. Obviously, let me know what you guys are thinking about the fight. Let me know in the comments. Predictions, please. Thank you.